Alright guys, welcome back. Been trying to get this done today. It's kind of one of those struggle days. 20 years plus in the military, besides the aches and pains that come with that, I got baggage, so some days are just harder than others to get motivated. But I'm getting there. So before I go exercise a little bit, go work out, I wanted to show a video of kind of update and get these blind nuts installed on this motor. So I originally tried some lasers and stuff, but I'm like, you know what, I can just eye it better and take measurements and things like that. So essentially what I did is I got the pipe in the rear bulkhead for the pipe kind of centered and installed like I showed in the last video, and then I made this one block and hard mounted the pipe, the bell mouth of the pipe to the engine mount. And I left this side off because it needs to be adjusted, and I still haven't screwed it down. I'll center it and then and then mount at that point. But what I needed to do at that point was get the gap between the pipe and the end of the bell mount, or the end of the exhaust, which I've done. Did that with using a tape measure coming in through the rear and just going back and forth between the exhaust cone and where the screw, right past the screw. So I'm a little under an inch, somewhere between 3/4 and an inch is where I'm sitting right now with the motor as is. And this one, you can kind of see where I had to cut it to get this block basically in line with this other one. This apparatus seems to be off a little bit, so this block was canted, so I had to trim it, and then I glued these blocks in and put one screw just in case, and then this one has been drilled and I got a screw in holding it, and then once I get this centered where I need it, I will just hard mount, drill a hole and hard mount with a screw, and that'll secure the pipe. The way they show it, and part of the reason why they put the tabs on the end of the pipe, is so you push the pipe in, you slide the tail on, and you can just take a screw and run it through the mount, and then just drill your hole, and it just slides into that hole and keeps it centered. That way when you pull the tail off, it just slides right out versus having a screw into the wood. That's a technique, and there's nothing that says you can't do it that way. I just chose to do it with a screw. So if I want to take the tail off, which I don't plan on really doing that, I would just come in here. It sucks, I have to take the bottom wing off, the midsection of the wing off, but just loosen these screws and then the tail will come off. But a lot of guys don't want to do that, so they just want to leave the center section of the wing on and be able to take the tail off. Then you're going to have to do, like I said, just run a screw through the L bracket, a bolt essentially, and then just make your hole. That way when you slide the pipe in, it's in line where it needs to be, around the center on the turbine, and then those tabs on the back of the motor keep it from pulling out. So, but what I've done is I got everything lined up where I wanted it. I drilled all the holes. I got 3 holes on each side drilled. Right now I have a screw on each side, just keeping it in place. And then I went back and drilled out for these M5 bolts. And I have some lock nuts here, or blind nuts, sorry. So these are going to go into the wood. I tried mounting the motor on the top side of the bulkhead, but it was just way off with the pipe, and I think their intent is for you to bolt it in on top, because that's all the ones I've seen show it that way. So everything just lines up better with it being on the bottom side of the bulkhead. Nothing wrong with that. I probably don't even have to do blind nuts, but the screws will hold it just fine. But I want to go ahead and put a blind nut in there because this is kind of a heavy, heavy motor, and their wood that they use is very soft. Like, they don't use, in my opinion, true aircraft ply. They use this softer ply. So, plus taking motor in and out, those threads loosen. So this is kind of the better option for that. And like I said, I've already drilled the holes. Just goes through, I put a washer on it, and then I'll put the blind nut on here. You can't really see it. Get it started, and then you just crank it down until it kind of seats. And then we'll have to tighten the rest of the way down. And a lot of times you can go through and put glue on it to hold it, because the teeth always seem to back out. And see, it's actually spinning right there. So you almost have to kind of hold it with some pliers. So let's do that. Come in here. Luckily, you can get in through these little side pieces and hold things really well. Yeah, it's better to press these things in. It's just because if it starts spinning, it'll flatten out the little teeth on it, and it won't hold. So I'm trying to kind of see, make sure it's good there. Yeah, it's good. So I'm gonna have to get all tricky with this. Yeah, see, it's spinning. Yeah, I'm gonna have to take some pliers and stuff and hold it and screw it down. And that'll get kind of cumbersome with this helmet or this little camera on. So I'm gonna stop this right now, and actually no, you know what? Screw it. Let's just do it. Just do it. Sorry if you guys can't see all of the action, but yeah, see, it's wanting to spin. I think I need to drill the plates or the holes for the blind nuts a little bit bigger. Yeah, so let's do this. Yeah. I'm gonna take these out and just press them in to the wood with some pliers. Actually, I got some clamps that'll work. That way I don't worry about the teeth getting bent over. And I probably won't even use these center screws once I have the blind nuts in place. All right, there we go. Yeah, see, I need to drill a bigger hole here. There they are. Let's see what we got here. 5 millimeters. I'm gonna go with this. Yeah, just one of those days. So, one of those days. I was always wanting to be a pilot, and the only way I could do that was in the military, so that's what I did. And was very fortunate enough to do that in the military, and I thought after a career of it, I would be able to, you know, I think, you know, I had a job with the airlines, just not my thing. I was always, you know, kind of almost talking myself out of it daily, you know, and then when COVID hit and they canceled like our classes and stuff for NDOC and everything, I was kind of relieved, I guess I could say. You know, I did everything. I took the ATP written, passed that no problem. I made all the requirements. Looking for a block here. Met all the requirements to do the job. under the restricted ATP, and I just needed a type rating. And then of course COVID hit and they canceled all the classes. And you know, they called us back, you know, eventually, which what kind of made me mad was the fact that they didn't even call me and let me know, hey, your class is canceled, and that you're supposed to start in 2 weeks. They just nothing. Didn't hear anything for like 6 months. So I'm talking to the guy that was the recruiter, you know, that got, you know, that I started down the road with, and he's like, he finally just told me one day, he's like, just go get a job, man. He's like, we don't know anything and all this and that. And so that's what I did. I waited till I was, you know, because based on the conditional job offer they give you, they have to have you in class within 6 months of meeting your ATP requirement. And if they don't, you can essentially walk away without owing them anything, because they paid for the, forget what that class is called. It's like a 2-week course that you take now because of the crash that happened with the airline, and ATP CTP course, that's what it is. And then you go up to, we went to Atlanta and did 10 hours in a simulator, like an MD-88 simulator, to learn like high altitude stuff and things like that, and run through maneuvers. And it was pretty cool. So I got, you know, some time in my logbook with that. And then, you know, they paid for my commercial multi-engine and about 150, 170 hours of fixed wing time to meet the requirement. And then, yeah, so anyways, after that commitment was up, I went ahead and got a job as a contractor, and, you know, now I'm working my second job after that. Actually, my first one was it was program management stuff, and what a horrible company and experience it was. But luckily, that all ended and led me to this job that I have now, working for the Army as a contractor, and I work back in Apache world and maintenance and all that stuff. It just kind of sucks because I'm around it, and you know, I go out and visit units, and I see the aircraft still that I used to fly, and it just makes me miss it. And I'm not getting that, you know, I was flying fixed wing and stuff and staying current for a while, and then it got COVID hit, and that went all out of control. And I was actually had a tail kit for an RV-10 I was going to build, and that all kind of went crazy too. So I ended up selling that, and became cheaper just to go certified. And that's kind of where I'm at now, is wanting to buy a certified airplane. But good God, I mean, it's just so expensive, and you know, it's kind of depressing. You know, I wish I'd have bought an airplane 15 years ago, because they were a fraction of the cost for what I want and than they are now. And it's like, it's kind of out of my, not obtainable right now for me. I would have to change lifestyles quite a bit, stop doing a lot of this stuff for a while, you know, to save up to get one. And then you got to have money to maintain it and things like that. And it's just like, gosh. So it sucks, because I have this niche, you know, it's my passion. I love aviation. It's all I ever want to do. So now I'm like, I don't have the thing that made me me, you know. Everybody knew me as a pilot. I don't have that anymore. So it's kind of like trying to figure out like who I am again, you know. But hopefully someday I can get back to flying. You know, I want to own my own airplane just so I can still do what I love and share that with people, like my family and friends, and do things and travel, and things like that. And I would even love to do, like, you know, I'm going to do things too if I ever get a plane, like where they you know, they transfer pets around and do things for vets, you know, take them to their, you know, if they got to have like a major surgery or something, and get them to some place and things like, I keep trying to put it on the wrong side. I want to do all that, you know, because that's just a good thing. So, all right, so this is kind of long-winded, but I got those pressed in there. I'm gonna take this off my head so you guys can kind of see it here. There you go. So now you can see the 2 blind nuts on each side, and now I can just bolt them in. I'm probably going to put some, do like the factory does, do some glue on the back side of them, because they always seem to want to come out. Those teeth don't ever seem to want to bite. So that is that. And I think I'm going to end it because I'm at 15 minutes on this, and I really am just kind of talking out my butt right now. But I'm going to go exercise, then I'm going to come back and do some more videos tonight. Things like that. I just got to keep moving, man. You got to keep exercising. I exercise now more than I did when I was in the military, actually. Something about being forced to do it when I was a warrant officer. I don't know. So anyways, but now I enjoy doing it because it's on my terms, and I do it for, do what I need to do to stay healthy and things like that. So, but it's also a time to kind of decompress, clear your brain, listen to some music, kind of just walk around and chill, collect your thoughts a little bit. So, but yeah, that kind of, you know, reminds me, like, for you guys out there that don't necessarily have like the crazy deep pockets that own airplanes, you know, like, what is your solution for things? Do you just, you know, let me know in the comments. Do you guys just like, hey, I don't have other toys, I just put all my money towards, you know, the plane and stuff like that? I mean, because it's a serious commitment. One, getting the plane cost, so anything with speed is going to cost you, so there's a cost. And then there's the associated insurances, annuals, and things like that. And then of course the ridiculous hangar fees, if you can even find a hangar. So, you know, what do you guys do? Do you guys not have hobbies and do that, or that is your hobby? You know, because I feel that at this stage, if I wanted to do it, I would have to give up all this RC stuff, you know. And I've thought about doing that, you know, because flying's, you know, if I want to do that passion, it's like, you know, it's whatever it takes, you know. So gotta have dreams, I guess. But I'm a type of person that I think if you want something bad enough and you work towards it, you can achieve it. So I think there'll come a time when I'm just like, all right, I'm gonna do this, and then I'll just commit and make it happen regardless. I just would love to do it before I'm too old to really enjoy it. So what do you guys think? You know, let me know what you guys do. Shit, I'm almost considering, you know, doing work on the side, like as an AMP or something, or like join the National Guard, go back flying Apaches and use that money towards things. But yeah, I don't honestly want to do that. Like that, doing something like that, it comes with a certain level of painfulness and obligation that I don't know if I'm willing to give right now. So anyways, you guys have a good one, and I will get back I will get it mounted and get the turbine done and get this hard mounted, and then we'll move on to getting the tank back in and finishing up this Viper jet. So you guys have a good one. Let me know what you think about my comments, you know, if you're a pilot and on an airplane or something. And like, subscribe, tell your friends. Just trying to grow the channel, and it's been fun getting a lot of comments these days, and every day I'm getting a few subscribers, so it's growing, but it's just going, you know. Anyways, you guys have a good one, and I'm gonna go sweat a little bit. Cheers.